Hi beautiful people, how are you today? My name is Georgia Denise. For those of you who are new to my channel, and to my regular subscribers, welcome back. Before we get into that, I know you see the title of this video. It's called the Get to Know Me tag. But before we get into the video, I just want to take some time to say I'm recording this video in a time that we're having a hard time all around the world. And I just want to take some time to tell you that if you and your family are actually going through this right now, I just want to tell you that I'm sorry and I understand what you're going through. And I hope that everyone is well in your family and we are going to get through this together. Just really quickly, I've already been through it. I've had family members that have been through this. And luckily, I haven't lost any family members, and I hope and pray to God that I don't. And I currently have family members who are going through this. So if you've had family members that have gone through and have not survived, I am so sorry. But if you've gone through this yourself and you have other members of your family, just pray to God and thank Him that you've made it through. And hopefully we will be through this pretty soon. Okay? So to get started with the video, I went on my I usually go back and look through my videos that I have on my YouTube channel, and you know, I try to update it as often as I can. As you guys know, I have different content on my YouTube channel. I do beauty, I do lifestyle, I do business, and also do a little bit more, because even though people say you're supposed to just stick with one niche, I feel that I have a lot to offer, and I think this is a great platform to share whatever you have to offer. So to get started with the tag, I had questions. I have some questions written down in this book right here, and I also went on a website and I had the questions written in order, but I have to switch them around a little bit, only because right now I have a little friend right here on my foot that's giving me problems. So the first question I'm gonna start with is cat or dog. Which is your favorite type of pet? And honestly, I like dogs. I had a dog, and her name was Diva. It was a Pekingese, and she died about 6 years ago. But before that, I grew up in a house where we had animals around all the time. So I just, you know, really like dogs. But currently, I am fostering a kitten. My sister loves cats. She can't see them and not pass them by. So a cat had a litter, and somehow one of the kitten got separated from the litter. And now the mother was shunning the kitten. So she brought it over and asked me if I could foster the kitten for a little while until we could get them to the shelter, because of everything that's happening right now. The shelters are kind of full, things are kind of crazy. So I said, okay, I'll take the kitten on. And this is the most frisky kitten. I'm gonna let you see her, or him. I honestly don't know the sex of it. Ouch! He just bit me. This is the kitten. I'm trying to hold him in a way that I know the mothers usually grab them by the neck. So this is the kitten. My sister has named him Bear, because I guess he looks like a black bear, or her bear. I tell you, I don't know the sex. But this little feisty thing has been all over the place. I'm sitting on the sofa and she found a way to get up here to come and bite me. And when she's not in my face on the sofa, she's actually tearing up my toes. So that's why I always have to have on socks. So to answer the first question, cat or dog, I like dogs. But right now I'm dealing with a little kitten. And the reason I like dogs is because they're always so happy to see you whenever you come home. They act like it's the first time that you've been gone for a long time. They also allow you to get a lot of exercise because you're out taking them for walks and playing with them. So that's why I like dogs more than cats. And talking about dogs, during this video, you might actually hear my neighbor's dog barking. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is a nice day that we've had in quite a while, so there's a lot of people out and about, so you may hear dogs barking, you may hear horns honking, you may hear sirens going by, you may hear people outside yelling, but that's also a good sign that people are feeling better and coming outside. So I don't mind, and I hope you don't either. All right, so now to try and go back to my list of questions the way I had them written down. And if you see me flinching or just making a noise, it's because this little kitten is still here messing with me, okay? All right, so first question I had written down is, what is your background / nationality? And if you haven't picked up on my accent yet, I am from Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica, and I came to the United States when I was 10 years old. So yes, I went to elementary, middle school, junior high, and college while here in the United States. A lot of people usually ask, so when is the last time you're going back home? To answer that question, it is April 2020. And I was in Jamaica a year ago. I went to Jamaica. Well, I've been going back and forth, but the last time I was back home was March of 2019. That's been 3 weeks. So I started out in March and I was back in April. So that's my nationality. I am from Jamaica. What is my level of education? Oh, kind of answered that. I am a college graduate. I have my bachelor's degree in business administration. And if that wasn't enough for me, I actually went back to school about 7 years later. I went back to school for nursing because I found that the degree in business administration wasn't fulfilling for me. It wasn't taking me in a career path that I wanted to. And I went back to school for nursing, and I did 3 years of nursing school and decided it was not for me. So that didn't not really go anywhere, but I learned a lot while I was in nursing school. I was actually, before I did that, to see if I wanted to be a nurse, I actually did a course in certified nursing assistant. So I had my certificate with that, and then I transitioned that into nursing. But like I said, 3 years in, like, no, this is not for me. But I do still work in the medical field, and I'll answer that in a few more questions. Next question. What are your career aspirations? Well, I've been working for quite a while. You'll find that out when you see the number of jobs that I've had. But I actually really want to own my own business. I want to own my own clothing business. I want to be able to design and draw and get clothes made for people who are actually, I want to do kids clothing, particularly boys, because I help raise my nephew. And I find that there are not enough clothing out there for boys. You will go in the store, you will go in the department store, and you will go to the children's sections, and you will see that there's so many cute things for girls. You know, so many designs, so many colors, so many little frilly things. And I feel that there's not enough clothing out there for boys. So I want to do children's clothing and sell particularly. No, I know I can't just stick to boys, but I want to put mostly boys clothing. This kitten. Okay. All right, bear, relax. Come on, come on, come on. Stop. Go ahead. Stop. All right. Next question. How many jobs have you had, and what were they? So I went ahead and made a list of all the jobs that I had. I didn't realize I had so many jobs until I made the list, and I counted 7, 8, 9, 11 so far. My first job, I started out working when I was 14 years old. 14 years old, and I started out as, you know, just summer job. You get your certificate to work for summer youth, and I was able to get it, and I started working at 14, and I was a receptionist in an office for just for the summertime. And without getting into details, I'm just going to tell you some of the other jobs I've had, and some of these were 2 jobs in one, so it's a combination where you would have a full-time job and a part-time job, so that's why. So I'm gonna age myself a little bit right now by telling you where I work. I was a manager for Blockbuster. I was a manager for McDonald's. I worked as a head teller for Chase, and I did that while I was going to college. So I used to work for Chase Bank during the day, and then I went to school at night. And within that time, I kept getting promoted. So I stayed with them, I think it was about 5 years. And I started out as a regular teller, and then I went up to a head teller. And I have a story time for that, when I was working at Chase and the bank got robbed, and it was bad. So I'll make another video, guys, telling you about that. Another job I've had, I've worked with Macy's. I worked with Macy's for about 8 years, and I was a manager, was a senior manager. I started out as a junior manager and got promoted until the point where I became a senior manager. I did that for 8 years. And in a nutshell, I got burned out. It was a combination of being pushed out and then burned out. So it was okay. But I do cherish my years that I worked at Macy's. I made a lot of friends. Lifelong friends, I should say, and I honestly really cared about everyone that I worked with there. It was a fun job. I mean, there was never a dull day in that place, and I truly miss those people. But you know, there are times when you gotta move on. So that's my story in a nutshell with Macy's. I also worked for, and none of these are in order, so I'm just jumping all over the place. I also worked for a company called WorldPack. If you guys know that company, they sell auto parts wholesale to mechanic shops and to other retail stores. So I worked with them for a while, and I actually liked that job also. And with them, I was a lead key holder sort of type of manager kind of thing. It was a warehouse, but it wasn't a lot of us. It was about 6 or 7 of us working there. So, you know, but it was really nice. I also worked for Stop and Shop. I worked as a manager for Stop and Shop, and I did that for about a month. I really didn't like it because of where I had to travel to. It was really hard getting back and forth to work, and it wasn't a fun place for me to work. It was just too much of a hassle, so I didn't do that for very long. Also worked as a realtor. I do have I should say, real estate license. I also had my appraisal license, but I let both of those expire. I let the appraisal license expire because I didn't know, or I guess I didn't do enough research to know that when you do get your appraisal license, that you have to be mentored for at least a year with someone else before you could actually go on your own. And I couldn't find anyone to mentor me, so I had to let that go. And I let my realtor license expire because I did sell a few houses. Commissions were great. I sold a few houses, and I did rent some apartments, but there was a time when there was a slump in the economy, and because of that, nothing was happening. And I did the realtor job along with working at Macy's. So on the days where I wasn't working on Macy's, I always spent my day in the office, you know, getting to know clients, doing just reaching out to people who needed help. And that's how I was able to sell a couple houses and get some apartments rented. So those 2 licenses I let expire, and my CNA expired. Wow, I'm just realizing I let so many go to waste. So that was my realty job. I also did medical billing and coding, and that's where I told you in a couple questions ago that I'm still in the medical field. I am a licensed medical coder, So that's where I stayed. Even though I didn't become a nurse, I still stayed in the field, and I am a licensed medical coder, and I also did medical billing for a while. And the way that happened, how I got my medical coding license, is that the company that I work with medical billing, when I went there, I expressed the fact that I was interested in medical coding, and they were gracious enough to do a class with a bunch of us, like about 8 of us in the company. It was a fairly new company, and I was one of the people to get chosen to be a medical coder, and that's how I got my medical coding license. I'm not with them anymore, however, but you know, I really appreciated the opportunity of them, you know, putting their trust and in me to actually put me in the class, or you know, make me a part of the team to get my medical coding license. And I really appreciate that. And that's one thing I will never let expire, because that exam is one of the most grueling exams that I've ever had to take. It was rough. It was rough, and it took me a few tries to pass it and become licensed. So that's why I appreciate it so much, that I will never let that license expire. And let me see, what other jobs have I had? And also I work Amazon. I've worked at Amazon along with doing medical billing and coding, because Amazon is only a few days a week, and it brings in extra money. So that's another job. Okay, let me go back to the question. So that was the question where it asks, how many jobs have you had and what were they? All right, so I'm jumping all over the place now. So the next question is, do you have children? And the answer is no, I don't have any children. However, I have nieces and nephews, and they fill that void. Why don't I have children? I wanted to do it the traditional way. I wanted to be in a relationship, get married, have children, be with a husband, of course, and not be a single mother. So because of that, that didn't happen the way I wanted it to. So therefore, children did not come in the picture. And at this point, no. Let me just enjoy my nieces and nephews and be content with that. Relationships, current relationship status. I am currently single and looking. Oh, but it is so hard. If you're out there looking too, you know how hard it is. I am not willing to do these internet dating sites. I am sorry. They scare the out of me. I am not willing to do this. So I'm willing to meet people in the traditional way, but I don't know where to go. So if you have any suggestions of where to meet people, drop it in the comments, please. I will take any suggestion at this point. But I'm hoping that one day I will meet somebody the organic way, where, you know, you're just passing on the street, or, you know, in the supermarket in the line or something, through friends or whatever. But I'm looking, okay? I am looking for a man. Next questions is asked about my YouTube story, but you know what, I'll do that. I'll answer that question in another video, because this video is getting long already and I don't want it to be too long. Tea or coffee? I like both, but I'm trying to wean myself off of coffee, because coffee gives me that quick, for lack of a better word, high, and then it just crashes. So I've been experimenting with teas. I've been drinking matcha. Look, again, I keep putting her on the floor and she keeps coming back. I've been drinking chai tea and matcha, but I actually like matcha very much. I like the way matcha, it's nice and smooth. It has caffeine just like coffee to get you going, but it doesn't give you that quick high and then that crash. So I'm leaning more and more towards matcha, and I've been experimenting a lot with it. Okay, what sports have you played? I have not played any sports. When I was in high school, I really wanted to be a part of the cheerleading squad, but my mom was like, no, I'm sorry, you're not going to. Nope. So I just had to be, you know, you have to listen to your parents when you're at that age. And the reason she said we weren't doing it is because there was a lot of away games, and I would have to travel away on a Saturday, and she was afraid of anything happening. So she was like, nope. So I was allowed to join anything that was within the school, like join the choir, join the drama club, but no sports. Okay. So if you could live anywhere in the world, where will it be? Jamaica. I want to move back home to Jamaica, and I will be moving back home to Jamaica. I have to get a plan in place to start the transition, but I will be moving back to Jamaica, and I will be so happy when I do. What is your proudest what is your proudest accomplishment in life? I am most proud of the fact that I was able to finish college. And when I was in high school, I didn't think I would be going to college. And my mom I really wanted to go and join the army. Don't ask me why. I just thought it was just the right thing to do. I wanted to, you know, be away from home. So my mom was like, okay, since you want to be away from home, I will allow you to go away to college, but you have to go away to this Adventist college called Oakwood College. And I was like, no, I'm not going to a religious college. And she was like, well, you are going to college, and since you don't want to go to Oakwood, you need to find a college within New York that you want to go to. So I went to Medgar Evers College right here in Brooklyn, which is where I live. And I got my degree in business administration within the 4 years. And I was quite proud, and I'm still quite proud of the fact that I finished college. And I did college while I worked. So like I told you before, I worked in the daytime and I went to college in the evenings, and then I took as many summer classes as I possibly could just to get through. So very proud of that. What is your favorite sport to watch? I like football. I really like football. I have an ex-boyfriend who actually took the time to sit down with me and teach me the game so that I was able to understand what was happening. And I really appreciated that. So that's why I like the game. And I like the fact that it doesn't move as fast as basketball. And you know, they take breaks and stuff like that. And so, but I really like football. And I'm sorry if you see me looking a little bit distracted. I really have this little kitten giving me a hard time. Oh gosh. I really wish you would go sleep. Bear, go sleep, so that I could finish this video. So yeah, my favorite sports to watch is football. And next question, what would you sing at karaoke night? I would sing, I've done it before and I would do it again. I really like anything from Whitney Houston, any song from Whitney Houston. So not to say that I could sing like her, but I really like anything that she sings. And if I should go to karaoke night again, I would attempt to do it again. Hey, have you been to karaoke night and see how some of those people behave and how they sing? I think I could do a good job. All right. It's next question. So where would you retire to? And I think I just answered that. It says anywhere, where in the world would you live? Jamaica. And I plan to retire to Jamaica. So yes, that's where I would retire. All right, so that's the questions from my little notepad. That's the questions from my little notepad. This video is already 20 minutes long. Let me see if there's any on here on my phone that I could I know you could see Bear back there. Let me see if there's any on my phone here that I can answer. Just don't jump on my back, please. Relax. Okay. Trying to find a good one. There's over 100 questions here, but of course we're not gonna answer all of that. Okay, here's a good one. It says, if you could share a meal with any 4 individuals, living or dead, who would it be? Any 4 individuals, living or dead, could share a meal with. 3 of them are dead. My grandparents on my mother's side, my maternal grandparents. I would really love to be able to sit down and talk to them some more. You know, when I told you that I migrated to America and I was 10 years old, we didn't really, my sister and my brother and myself, we really didn't go back too often after that. And I feel that we didn't get in to spend enough time with them. So I would really love to sit down and talk to them and just find out about, you know, how their childhood was and just anything about life. The other person deceased that I would really like to talk to is my aunt, my favorite aunt, who passed away when I was 9 years old. She used to help take care of us while we were in Jamaica, and I thought she was the most loving, sweetest person in the world. And I would really like to she was only, I think, 24 years old when she passed, and I would really like to get to know her more. And the other person, the 4th person alive, would be President Obama. I would just like to sit down and just talk to him about life, you know, how he aspired to become the president of the United States, and just, you know, just chit chat. So those are the 4 people that I would really like to sit down and have a meal with. And with that said, let me try one more fun one, because that one was kind of serious. Okay, let me see. How often do I clean or messy person? Woo. What's your favorite fast food chain? Okay, we could leave on that note. McDonald's. I really like McDonald's, not only because I've worked there, but because I know how clean they are. They actually take steps. It's like there is a manual that tells you, and there's a checklist that you go through every single night that tells you how to do things. And if you follow that manual as you should, because it's checked on a monthly basis, okay, bear just fell off the sofa, then you know your store is doing pretty well. And because I know how they operate, I know they're a very clean establishment, and it's just a great place to eat. So that's my favorite fast food establishment. So with that said, I think I am going to end this video here. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, or there's anything that you'd like me to speak more on with everything that I've covered here, just leave it in the comment section. And if you want me to do another get to know me video, let me know, and I will continue. I'll probably pull some of the questions from off the phone, that website that I just told you about, because I really only answered 2 or 3 questions from there, and I could do some more. But like I said, I didn't want to make this video too long, and Bear keeps Bear keeps, I don't know if you